Walt Disney, was he buying other stocks? No, he was buying Walt Disney. Because what's going to happen is you are going to eventually succeed. But I recommend that you invest in yourself. Because I think there's nobody in America that will give you a better return than yourself, especially if you have the will. Especially if you have the will. Because if you have the will and you're saying, you know what, I'm going to invest in myself. I'm going to invest in my education. I'm going to get myself a master's degree. That's what I'm going to do. Instead of diversifying and getting, I'm going to invest in myself. I'm telling you, we'll get leaps and bounds ahead. Do you think that Oprah is too concerned about her retirement plan? No, but she's invested in herself. Invest in yourself. Okay? I just really want to encourage you guys, invest in yourself. Make sure that no one kicks over that basket, but put all your eggs in. Put it all in you. Put it all in you. Not the company, put it in you. If you get laid off, no big deal, because you are a prized possession. You are anointed and appointed to be here. You're somebody special. You have something. So invest in yourself. All right? So the action step I'm asking you is, how could you invest in yourself better? And one of the things I realized that for me was, I need to start maybe buying some nicer clothes for myself when I do events, when I was DJing, because people judge you based on your appearance. I'm like, well, I'm just going to have to invest in myself in that regard. Some of you, Miss Yellow dresses nicer than I do. So some of you might have to invest in the education, whatever it is, but invest in yourself. All right, moving along. Now, this is Abraham Lincoln. He is a one interesting looking dude. There he is. And he says, you must practically educate yourself regardless of your accessibility to formal education. So principle number 4 is practically educate yourself regardless of your accessibility to formal education. Now, education means something entirely different for you than it means for me or for him. I don't know what that is. It's different for everybody. But I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I'm not making this up, yesterday I did an interview with the New York Times about, they called me because I do ridiculous rap parody songs. I do rap parody songs just for fun. But the way I learned to do that was just being around dudes that were really good rappers and learning from them. So for me, if I'm wanting to be a rapper, which I just do funny stuff, but if I was going to be a rapper, it makes sense to study other rappers. That would be practical education for me. But for you, it might be, I need to work underneath the best doctor out there. To really learn to be the best nurse, I need to work underneath the best doctor. It might be, but we have to practically educate ourselves. And I want to just give you a real example. When you think about practical education, think for a second, how many people here know about the Mesopotamia River Valley? Who here knows what papyrus is? Awesome. Can someone define papyrus? I'd like to talk about papyrus for a moment. Yes, sir.
It was the original paper that Egyptians used that came from a plant that they used to write on, and it served several purposes like scripting.
I am impressed you know this. Now, what was the kind of writing they actually put on it? The writing they used?
It was hieroglyphics, I think. It was drawings.
Drawings. It was, they call it cuneiform.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm telling you this,
Sumerian stuff.
there we go. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because it really doesn't matter. But we all know. But some of us, the discussion we had today about Oprah and why she's successful, we don't really talk about that too much. You know what I'm saying? We will spend hours memorizing pi. What is the number pi? But yet we won't spend 10 minutes reading a book about a successful person that we want to be like. It's weird. We will spend 8 years getting a master's. We will not pick up even one book that will teach us the hidden secrets. You know? And the hidden secrets, I would encourage you, this is the thing about practical education. I want everybody to write down your action step. Write down one person that you really would like to know about. It could be Ted Turner. It could be a favorite. Russell Simmons, his book called Do You is incredible. Russell Simmons, wow. It could be Oprah. It could be a book. It could be anybody at all that you want to study. Just write down that person's name. And I'd like you, a little thing here, go on eBay tonight and buy that book. Spend $2.99, invest in yourself. It'll be the best $2.99 you ever spent. But what's going to happen is you're going to learn so many practical things from that. You're going to be all the wiser for it, and I promise it'll relate to your life. You're going to see yourself through their shoes, and it's going to help you. I promise you. And I want to encourage you that, again, it's just the practical education. It's the skills that you can actually use that we need to learn. And I think what's awesome about college is it teaches us how to think. You know, it teaches us how to think and break things down. However, I think if you take the knowledge, the general knowledge, and you don't gain a practical skill, it's a bad deal. You know what I mean? So you kind of have to take the practical and the general knowledge and mesh them together. And I put Abraham Lincoln up here because he taught himself using books that he found you guys probably heard the story here, but he actually found books that were thrown away in the trash, and he picked them up and then started reading those books, and then he had the Bible, and that's how he kind of taught himself. You know, it's kind of crazy. I mean, he became president of the United States through teaching himself. That's crazy. I mean, think about that. Really teaching yourself. That's pretty nuts. All right. Principle number 5. We talked about it a little bit, but I wanted to really delve into it. Principle number 5, again, is knowledge without application is meaningless. Okay? I know we talked about it earlier, but I really want to delve into that for a second. Is how much knowledge do we have out there that we know that we don't act on? Have you ever had an idea, a hunch that comes to you and you don't act on it? You have something, you're watching a movie, and you're like, oh, I need to redecorate my kitchen. Yep, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it tomorrow. You're like, I'm going to do it. I just have. Next week, I didn't do it. I was going to, but I didn't. You know what I mean? It's like we get excited that we don't do it. Now, here's a belief that I have, and again, I know I'm in college, so I'm going to get too spiritual on you, but I believe that God or an infinite intelligence or something gives you hunches, gives you little premonitions, little sixth sense, little things that say, here's a great business idea. Hey, start a DJ business. But then what happens is that we say, what if it fails? Well, if it fails, you're going to learn a lot of things, you know, on the route to failing, because I've failed a lot. I've unbelievably perfected failing. I can give you tons of examples. But the thing is that you have these hunches, and if we don't act on them, then they die, and we start to procrastinate, and we start to now get frustrated, and we start to feel like we're not really accomplishing anything, and we want to quit, and just boom. You know what I mean? So it's like, when you have the next hunch, my action step for you on this is that when you have the next hunch, the next knowledge that comes to you, apply it immediately. Get right on it.